Oh, I thought you'd be long gone, Jenny. I'm having a conflab with the other judge by now.
Oh, I don't need to be at the hall till 12.
Oh.
Oklahoma's looking so braggy.
Oh, it's put on a good show this year.
The only rose it has.
Lovely scent.
And there's no need for a conflab anyway. I'm judging the baked goods, and Margot's in charge of the flowers and veg. Though she wasn't going at all.
I won't say I told you so.
You just have, Brian.
I still think it's very thoughtless of Fallon dumping the job on you.
Normally, I wouldn't mind. But I wonder if the word's spread about Alice's decision yet.
Oh.
Christopher's bound to have told his mother that she's not moving back.
Only for the time being.
Oh, and once Susan's heard, the whole village will know.
So what?
Oh, and if there were prizes for parenting, we wouldn't even get an honourable mention this morning.
Nonsense, nonsense. Look, you're worrying about nothing, Jenny.
Oh.
Alice is making excellent progress. Hasn't missed a meeting, has she?
No, not so far.
I don't think she's been near a drink in weeks.
No, sure she hasn't.
You just have to remember she's still very unsettled.
I do realise that, Brian. But not wanting to move back in with Christopher and Martha.
Not for now, that's all. She's keeping away from them while she recovers.
That's what she says.
As for the little gossip at the village hall, when's that ever bothered us?
Anyway, I'd better start getting ready.
Well, I've still got to pick up the papers. Why don't we walk down together? I could do with the company.
I ain't sure of the best angle to display it. How long have we got left, Kenton?
A couple of minutes before the judges arrive. The golden ivy is genius.
It looks all right trailing down, doesn't it?
Oh, the whole basket is gorgeous, Jolie. Completely different to everyone else's.
I just fancied autumnal. Forget petunias. Use plenty of grasses and cyclamen instead.
I reckon we've got the Frida Fry cut nailed down.
No, that ain't just for hanging baskets. It's for best entry in the whole show.
We could even get it for our fuchsia heads in a vase.
Oh, that's two thrown together last minute.
Well, better than most of what I've seen.
You've been right round?
Yeah. Had a long natter with Bert. Agreed that most of Cecil Jackson's vegetables need dope testing.
How do you know there is? Entries are supposed to be anonymous.
We saw him arrive with his wheelbarrow.
Your hanging basket.
Oh, morning, Eddie. Yeah. Impressive, isn't it?
I thought you weren't entering this year.
Oh, really? You thought wrong.
We're only entering this basket and some fuchsia heads.
Oh, then you're going toe-to-toe with me and Clary in both classes.
Oh dear.
What happened to standing aside to give us a chance?
Hey, I only said that we would talk about it.
In Dad's honour. He'd have been 100 this weekend.
I know. We'll toast his memory as soon as we get back to the bull.
Oh, that's no use if you beat us here.
I was just talking to Bert about that.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and he thinks the best way to win a Joe is to compete as hard as your father always did.
Ah, well, he would do, wouldn't he?
Oh, you'll win a hat full of prizes, Eddie.
No thanks to you if we do. Oh, it's Poppy I want to see walk off with a prize.
What's she going in for?
Collage on a plate in the shape of an animal. And hard luck, you can't novel us there. It's in the children's section.
Adam looks exhausted whenever I see him.
Yeah, but any new job's tiring to start with.
It's more than that.
Oh, I'm sure once he gets used to the routine, it won't be so bad.
Wish he wasn't travelling so far each day.
Right, here we are. Plenty of time.
Thanks for walking down with me, darling.
Feeling ready for action?
Hmm.
You're going to do this brilliantly, like you do everything.
Ooh, there's Margot.
This year's Harold Asquith.
Yeah, she's been Harold Asquith for the past 5 years.
Then why doesn't the Echo let her use her own name?
Tradition. Their gardening correspondence has always been bylined as Harold Asquith.
Seems rather unfair on a woman.
Oh, don't get me started on the dead hand of patriarchy in the Borsetshire media. Now, I need to go in.
Good luck, darling.
Here you go. I didn't order another pint.
Now it's on the house from Jolene. She said we'd remember your dad when we got back, and she always keeps her promises.
Oh, Cheers.
On condition that there's no more grumbling while we wait for the judges to finish.
Oh, all right.
Can I join you a second? I'm getting a bit jittery as well.
Yeah, go on. You and Jolene weren't the worst in letting me down.
No?
Gemma Hawkins used some very fruity language when I asked her to pull out of the truss of tomatoes.
Did you say anything to Cecil?
Yeah, I tried raising the subject, but there's no reasoning with that man.
He seems determined to hoover up all the produce prizes.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. There's still your trimmed beetroot.
And Poppy's collage.
And where is she? And the rest of the family?
Over at Lower Loxley for the pirate stuff.
Oh, are they?
They're coming back for the results, though. They're dying to see what we win.
You didn't fancy going all pirate yourself?
No, I had to drop off some compost on the Beechwood estate, then bring our entries to the hall. I didn't mean to get antsy about your hanging basket, mate. It's just, well...
I know. You'd be surprised how often I think about my dad, too.
As long as we win something for his century.
Oh, there was no need for you to come back, Brian.
I haven't been anywhere, except the Bull Garden reading the papers. Did it go all right?
Well, first, second and third virtually chose themselves in the pies and plans. And the breads were pretty straightforward as well.
What did I tell you?
There was only one disappointment, though.
What's that?
The overall number of entries, considerably fewer than the previous years. I don't know why.
I have a fair idea.
Oh?
Something I overheard at the Bull. And there's the man at the bottom of it all.
Eddie?
I heard he's been asking people to drop out so the Grundys can scoop up all the prizes to honour what would have been Joe's 100th birthday.
Who has he indeed? Eddie!
Highly commended.
At least it's summer.
Oh, yeah. A polite way of calling you a loser.
Well, it's more than that.
Oh, not much.
Better than we got for our fuchsia heads in a vase.
Well, that's it. I'm never reading Harold Asquith's column again.
You never do anyway.
Can you believe it? I didn't even come third for me trim beetroot.
Oh, were you fobbed off with a highly commended as well?
Fobbed off? I'd kill for one of them right now.
What, you haven't won anything at all?
Not a bean.
I'm sorry, mate.
Don't seem fair.
I mean, if Dad's looking down, what's he going to think of me? I can't even wangle a highly commended to celebrate his ton.
You're welcome to ours.
Oh, thanks, but it's not the same.
Of course it isn't. That highly commended is going up in the bar.
The only comfort is Clary, Poppy and the rest have been held up setting off from Lower Loxley. They didn't have to suffer the disappointment in person.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, not again.
If you can give me a moment to check my notes.
Oh, she's going to have another go, isn't she?
What's wrong?
Oh, she just gave me a rollicking for trying to influence the results. Now she's going to humiliate me in public and all.
I have two brief announcements to make. In a moment, I'll be awarding the Frida Fry Cup for the best overall entry to none other than Bert Fry. For winning not only 3 first places, but in particular for his trug of homegrown vegetables.
Oh, I know which his was. It looked lovely.
But before Bert comes to the stage, and very much at our winner's prompting, the show committee has agreed for 1 year only to offer one final prize. In memory of one of the Ambridge Flower and Produce Show's most stalwart competitors, who would have been 100 years old this weekend were he still with us.
Eh?
It's a prize for the entry that raises the biggest smile, which the committee and judges unanimously agree goes to Poppy Grundy for her marvellous monkey on a plate collage.
The entry that raises the biggest smile. Dad'd take that any day.
Is Poppy here?
I'll have to collect it for her, Jennifer, but thank you. That's a brilliant way to remember me Dad.
I thought you handled it very nicely, Jenny.
My little speech.
Oh, the whole thing. Judging, awarding the prizes, chastising Eddie.
Oh, nothing to it, really.
You handled Bert beautifully.
Oh, well, honestly, fancy turning up with an epic poem as your victory speech.
We'd have been there all afternoon if you'd let him read it.
Well, that was never going to happen.
Thank heavens.
We've been out long enough already. Oh, do hope that Alice has been all right on her own.
We've got to learn to trust her sometime.
She did seem fairly settled before we left.
It's later in the week I'm more immediately concerned about.
Selling Banjo.
Yeah. It's going to be quite a wrench for her.
I'd much rather she kept him.
Well, she's determined to do it.
The last thing she needs is losing another prop.
I suppose the good thing is she wants to pay back the costs of rehab. She's taking some responsibility for the first time in a long time.
She's so attached to Banjo. What if losing him triggers a relapse?
Well, we'll just have to pray it doesn't.
And there's another member of the family we should be thinking about as well.
Oh, Rory will be in his element starting university.
No, not just him. I meant our son-in-law.
Oh.
Christopher must be so disappointed that Alice isn't joining him.
Not joining him yet.
He'll have been so looking forward to them all being together again, their own little family.
Yes.
And then she decides against. I just wonder how poor Christopher's coping.
I didn't think it was physically possible, Pat.
Eating that much blackberry crumble?
I was expecting Jack to burst.
I don't know how he does it. There isn't a picking on him. Or Henry.
The Anguses are almost as greedy, expecting extra feed whenever we come to check on them.
Sorry, haven't got anything for you.
Just come to see that you're in good order.
It's funny. Helen and Lee both assuming I'd made the crumble.
I never get any credit for my cooking.
It's a great success.
Not too much cinnamon.
No, not really.
Oh, it was such good fun having them over for tea.
Yes.
I thought I'd never tear Lee away from my trains.
He wasn't just being polite.
No, he was really impressed with the new layout.
He's really fitted in, hasn't he?
Jack and Henry think the world of him.
Such a contrast to what they had before.
Isn't it just?
I'd love to hear what Henry's teacher says when he takes his plant drawings in tomorrow.
Wasn't the ear of wheat brilliant? Everything correctly labelled.
Except spicklets for spikelets.
Yes.
Oh, it's surprising what the boys notice on the farm.
Henry's a good help when he wants to be. Putting spuds in the veg boxes.
Yeah, he says tearing off bale wrap is his favourite job.
He might make a farmer one day.
He was a bit older. Tom would nab him for apple picking.
I know. Isn't it frustrating?
Awful.
Tom's first full crop and hardly anyone to pick it.
Tony, wait a second.
What is it?
That one by the hedge. Am I imagining things?
This won't take a second, Jennifer.
Oh, well, no rush.
I need to weld the centre while I got heat.
Boy, making a hinge?
Yeah, a whole set of hinges for some stable doors in Lakey Green.
Oh, looks very smart.
Well, there's a way to go yet, but thought I'd better crack on while Mum and Dad are looking after Martha.
I could just have left a note at the nest for you, but I wanted to say hello and see how you are.
You went to the nest before you came here?
Well, only to pop a beef casserole in the freezer. I made far more than we can use. You don't mind, do you, Christopher?
No. It's very kind of you.
And I wouldn't normally let myself in when you're not there, but I didn't want to lug the casserole home again.
Oh, no worries. It's your house.
No, it's yours and Martha's. And I've left a little pair of pram shoes for her.
Pram shoes?
Don't worry, they cost next to nothing.
Well, you don't need to buy shoes, Jennifer.
Well, Alice mentioned how fast she's growing, and I remember when my own were babies.
It's very good of you, but I am managing to look after her.
I know you are, Christopher.
And I've plenty of backup when I need it.
Yes, but it is so hard juggling childcare with a demanding job. Especially if you're expecting that you wouldn't be doing it on your own.
It's fine, Jennifer, honestly.
Must have come as rather a shock, Alice not feeling quite ready to move back in.
Is that how she put it?
Yes.
Ah.
Of course, things may look very different soon enough, but right now it must be disappointing for you.
Oh, it's all right. Honestly, it's a big help she's well enough to look after Martha more often now. I'm chuffed for her.
Oh, that's very generous of you.
Well, I want to see her do well.
You know you can always come to me or Brian if there's a problem with Martha.
Of course I do.
Or anything else.
Thanks. But luckily, everything's going really well at the moment.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello, Amy.
Oh, hi, Jennifer. I saw the light on while I was driving past. I've a confession to make, Chris.
What's that?
I've got absolutely zero willpower. I saw the cutest pussycat sleep suit ever in Felpersham this afternoon. I just had to have it.
Well, that's great. But everyone needs to calm down. I promise I've got the whole working and being a dad thing covered.
It's not much.
You're right, Pat.
She is dipping her head just a little.
Yes, she is. When you look closely, she's doing it on every stride.
Not a lot. But there may be a foot problem.
Good job you pointed her out. I'm bringing some of them down for weighing first thing tomorrow. I'll take a proper look when she's in the crush.
Let's hope it's nothing serious.
I'll check her feet for a cut.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. All the ring pulls and broken glass we've been picking up this summer.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I found a disposable barbecue and half a dozen empty cans in Primrose Bank this morning.
You're joking.
No,
Why does anyone do that?
I've no idea.
I mean, how hard is it to take your rubbish home?
They shouldn't have been there in the first place. Blessed staycationers. Trampling every patch of green they see, whether there's a right-of-way or not.
Well, at least it should start quietening down now the holidays are over.
I hope so. Oh, I never want to go through another year like it.
Things will get back to normal, Tony.
Oh,
I was saying to Jill, it'd be nice having a proper harvest supper again.
it's good of David and Ruth to take it on.
Helen says she's happy to provide the cheese.
What about us?
I suppose they'll want cream and ice cream. Maybe some of Natasha's fruit juices. We'll have to see.
I could offer blackberry crumble,
Yes.
though they might not be as easy to please as Jack and Henry. Now, be honest with me, Pat. Was that too much cinnamon?
Well,
And there's nothing else that Martha needs.
No, we're good, thanks.
Then I won't hold you up any longer.
It was really good of you coming in.
And don't work too late, will you? You'll wear yourself out.
No danger of that, Jennifer.
I hope not. Bye, Amy. It was lovely to see you. Bye.
Thank you for the casserole and shoes.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I'd better get going as well.
Oh, thank you for the sleep suit. It's brilliant.
You don't think I'm being an interfering friend?
No more than usual.
Thanks. I'd have given it to Alice, but I was driving past anyway.
I'm glad you dropped in.
Is she okay?
Alice? Yeah.
We've had a couple of chats since I got back, but we've not really had the chance for a proper catch-up.
She's getting on quite well. Seems to be staying off the booze.
I know it's been pretty bad for you.
Not a lot of fun.
I got a taste in Nottingham. Nothing like you have, though. But if Alice is getting on okay now...
Are you busy tomorrow night?
Not sure.
I'm trying to set something up with Harrison and Fallon. I've got the evening off from Martha and I haven't had a proper night out in ages. Just kicking back. Maybe a meal. Or having a few drinks.
Oh, okay.
If they're up for it. Do you want to join us?
Why not?
Great.
Although I'll have to check with Dad and Usha first. Sometimes they arrange stuff I don't know about.
Oh, yeah. The joys of moving back with your parents.
Yeah. But, I'll let you know as soon as I get home.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, hello, Joy. Was I disturbing you?
Oh, no.
I've just dropped off some drawings Henry forgot at our place earlier.
I see.
I was just leaving when I saw the rust on Lee's wheel arch. Between you and me, he's a lovely lad, but Lee is no mechanic. So I told him I'd take a look.
That's good of you.
Sorry if I was making a noise.
Fiddling with the car doesn't bother me, Tony. I was only worried in case it was the other fella come back.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Hi.
What's the news?
Well, Dad has volunteered me for something. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, all right.
Running a fair trade store with him in Edgeley.
Oh, never mind.
But it's only early evening. It depends what time you've got in mind. Though I don't think I can make a meal.
Oh, we're not eating. Fallon said Harrison's working tomorrow night and she's got some private doing the tea room. But she finishes about 8, so she's up for a drink after that, just at the Bull.
That'd be all right.
Yeah?
Suits me.
Oh, brilliant.
And Alice, is she coming along?
Oh, she's looking after Martha then. I'll tell you all about it when we get together.
Oh, where was I when I heard it? That's right, in the kitchen, giving me orchid a final feed. I like to rest it through the winter.
And you heard someone moving outside?
Well, I heard something.
Outside your kitchen?
Somewhere outside the house. It's hard to tell exactly where, especially with the radio on. Could have been on the road, I suppose.
Oh.
There's always someone going backwards or forwards, especially to the Yates place, so I didn't give it another thought. Till I started on my plants upstairs. That's when I had to take notice.
What happened?
I was just watering my African violets when I heard footsteps at the front. Not heavy ones, mind. Slow, careful steps.
Oh.
That made me look out. Sure enough, there was a fella standing opposite.
Who was it?
That's what I can't tell you, Tony. I didn't pull my nets right back. I didn't want to give the game away, so I didn't have the best of views. But there was definitely a man on the other side of the road.
Doing what?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just sort of standing there, looking up and down.
Perhaps he was waiting for a lift.
Could have been, I suppose. But when you're on your own in the house, you hear stories, don't you?
Do you?
But then I thought, hold on, Joy, you've done this before. Raised a false alarm over nothing.
Oh?
There was this one time in Shieldfield. I spotted a shifty-looking fella hanging round 2 doors down. Turned out he was from the electric, come to price a job. But I'd had 2 of our neighbourhood watch pinning him down before we found that out.
Oh, no.
Luckily, he couldn't have been nicer about it. Commended me on my vigilance. But my cheeks were burning for days after.
And this felt like the same sort of thing?
Well, chances are he had a perfectly good reason for being there.
Yes.
Like you say, waiting for a lift or a delivery man got himself muddled up. Anyway, I was going to leave it till I saw him cross over.
To your house?
Came over and walked right past, turned round by your Helen's and came straight back again. Could have been checking the numbers, I suppose, but I thought, that's it. I'm finding out what you're up to, Bonnie lad. So I came out to ask.
On your own?
I still had my little watering can if things turned nasty. Didn't matter anyway. By the time I came out, there was no sign.
He'd gone?
Completely disappeared.
Oh.
But now I've actually told someone. I realise there's nothing to it, is there?
Well, it's not nice if you feel you're being watched.
Oh, I'm not saying that, Tony. Looking back, it was probably just someone waiting for a lift.
It could well be.
Or come to the wrong house. No, you're right. I've overreacted, haven't I? I'm sure there's no reason to be fretting.
He's quite chirpy, isn't he?
Chris, absolutely bouncing.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're not, Fallon.
Oh, got halfway home from the tea room and remembered I'd forgotten to put on the burglar alarm.
No worries. I've only just got here from Edgeley myself. Though I'm guessing Chris has been here quite a while.
Yeah. I didn't want him to go to the bar for me, but he insisted.
He told me I didn't need any money tonight. He's getting all the drinks.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
So, you all right, Amy?
Oh, good, thanks. Though it's slightly bizarre staying with Dad and Usha again. Not in a bad way, but...
Yeah, it's not exactly living the dream, is it? Bunking in with the parents.
I keep telling myself it's character building.
Good attitude.
How about you?
Yeah, everything's good, thanks.
Great.
Except for a slight hiccup on Sunday when I had to hide half the day.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I talked Jennifer into judging the baked goods at the Flower and Produce instead of me.
Skyver.
No, I thought it would take her out of herself. So I invented a catering gig I was meant to be going to at the same time.
Then had to keep your head down.
Yeah.
And there was me thinking that you were so honest.
Well, I was trying to take her mind off Alice. Has Chris said anything about her yet?
Not yet. But he was kind of hinting at something yesterday.
That's what I thought.
She's got Martha tonight. I don't know when she's moving back into the nest.
No, me neither. Oh, why didn't you ask Mum for a tray, Chris?
I don't need one for just 3 drinks. These are Farrier's hands. Vodka tonic.
Thanks.
Pinot Grigio.
That's a large, not a medium.
Well, so I don't have to keep running to the bar.
You're not buying all the drinks tonight, Chris.
Nope, my invite, my treat.
Well, don't worry, this will last me all evening.
Oh, rubbish. We're having a proper night out. I am owed one.
How long have you been here?
Oh, not that long. Came straight from working at the stables, actually. Thought I'd get my tea here.
Nice. What do you have?
Crisps and a ham toasty in the end.
Is that all?
What's wrong with Mum's menu?
Oh, nothing. That's all I wanted. I was too busy nattering to feel hungry.
Who are you talking to?
To Cecil.
You've been chatting to Cecil Jackson.
And why not?
That's the first.
Well, it was awkward. Both of us staring at our drinks, not saying anything, so I went over, bought him a half. And then another. Then another.
Sorry, I tried getting here as soon as I could.
No, it's fine. We were talking about his prizes at the Flower and Produce, how he pickles his shallots.
Fascinating.
Is he still as careful as ever with his money?
Oh, very careful. If he's paying for himself, a half can last a whole weekend.
Well, it was better than being stuck on my own. It was a relief when you guys finally rolled up, though.
It's nice to be invited. So how's things, Chris?
Oh, okay. Martha's brilliant. She's got this amazing new smile.
Oh. And with you and Alice?
Not bad. Except maybe there's one tiny thing I should tell you. But honestly, it's no big deal.
That's a flap disc?
Yes, it'll sort out your wheel arch, Lee.
It's really good of you to drop it off.
I don't mind getting the rust off sometime if you're too busy.
It's all right. If you can leave it to the weekend, I'd like to fix the car myself.
Of course. I just thought you might have your hands full with work and the boys. I take it they're in bed.
Meant to be. Jack's just woken up again for the 3rd time. Then started having a massive fit of the giggles.
What about?
No idea, but of course he set Henry off. Helen's just gone up to settle them both down again.
I won't look in on them then.
Better not.
Where do you want the disc?
Oh, just leave it on the table.
Oh, and don't worry, it'll fit your drill. It's a standard shank.
Cheers. And, there is something else I wouldn't mind your advice on.
Coffee? Are you serious, Fallon?
That's all I want.
With a shot?
No, coffee without a shot. I've got to work tomorrow.
Same here too.
Oh, what a pair of lightweights.
It wouldn't hurt you to finish off with coffee.
Finish off? Who's finishing off anything?
It feels about the right time to move on.
Why?
It's been great meeting up, Chris, but I'm getting seriously tired.
I'm exhausted.
Oh.
Though, if you still need to talk...
There's nothing to talk about. I've told you, Alice isn't moving back with me and Martha because everything's over between us. We're not making a big noise about it, but that's how it is. I'm totally fine with it.
You don't seem totally fine.
Well, I am. I'm one drink short of ecstatic.
I'm not sure staying here is going to help.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. If you two desert me, I'll have to discuss pickled shallots and other vegetables with Cecil. Please, please don't make that happen.
What do you think?
There's got to be your last.
It is. I promise.
All right, then.
Oh, brilliant. All right, 2 coffees and 1 tiny little rum.
Oh, Chris,
careful.
It's all right. It's only a chair. Chairs don't mind falling over.
It's still bothering her.
I wouldn't say Joy's bothered exactly, but she did mention it when she saw me this morning.
I suppose living on your own, you do worry about the little things.
She doesn't normally make a fuss.
Oh, no. She can obviously take care of herself.
When she told me about the bloke hanging around yesterday, I promised to keep my eyes open.
Fair enough.
That's why I had a quick scout around before I went to work. And I found a footprint in the flower bed at the front.
Of her house?
On our side of the fence.
Oh.
Which I wasn't expecting.
So he's not just interested in Joy's, but here as well.
Unless Joy got it wrong. And it's only us he's interested in.
The footprint's definitely not one of yours.
I don't think so, Tony. There was a shower last night, so I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Have you said anything to Helen?
I was going to when she got back from work, but we got caught up making the tea. I'll tell her once she's seen to the boys.
But nothing else has happened.
Not that I know of. I went up and down the road when I got back from work. Didn't see anything. Joy hasn't either. All the same.
Yeah, I can see why you're worried.
It does seem strange. The chap just hanging round.
But if he hasn't been back, Joy says herself she does get carried away.
But what about the footprint?
Well, if you don't know if it's yours...
And I don't.
There's not a lot to go on, Lee. And it doesn't take much to put Helen on edge, for obvious reasons.
I know.
It seems a shame to worry her if there's no need.
She must have got the boys quiet.
You could leave it for the moment.
Just hang tight?
Until we know if there really is something to be concerned about. On balance, that's what I'd do.
Nice one, Fallon.
Well, I hardly did anything.
You wrestled his boots off like a champion.
Well, you did most of the heavy lifting, helping him into bed.
I'd never have got him into the recovery position without you.
Is he going to be all right like that?
I hope so.
He's gone right off, isn't he?
I'll wait with him a little while. Make sure he's not going to be sick in his sleep.
He should be okay. Don't reckon he's got anything left to be sick with.
I hope not.
Just as well he only had toasty and crisps, not the Bull's famous lamb casserole.
Oh, Fallon.
Sorry.
It's got to be right up there in my worst ever walks back from the pub.
Oh, it was awful, wasn't it?
Him staggering everywhere.
Throwing up every 100 metres.
Oh, look at him now.
Spark out, he's not bothered.
He's not going to feel like that in the morning.
No chance.
Do you think it is all over with Alice?
I don't know.
He seems certain it is.
I know they've been through some terrible stuff together, but I kind of assume...
Yeah.
They're so good together. Well, when it worked.
Alice was a total mess when she came to stay with me in Nottingham. I couldn't work out how she feels about Chris.
Suppose she might still change her mind.
Maybe. I wish I'd said something when we got there.
Well, like what?
You're halfway to being hammered, Chris. Forget any more drinks, mate. You need to go home.
You think he'd have listened?
Oh, I don't know. We could have tried.
Whatever we said, it wouldn't make a difference. And if we hadn't hung around, he'd have stayed there anyway, drinking himself stupid on his own.
Or being big mates with Cecil Jackson again.
Don't remind me.
Whatever made him go over to Cecil's table again?
I guess in his head he was being friendly or funny.
It was anything but.
He didn't give Mum any choice, did he?
No.
I mean, she really had to ask him to leave after that.
Tony, hi.
Sorry to ring so late. I haven't woken you up, have I?
No, just going through some notes for my clients tomorrow.
Is Helen there?
She's upstairs, getting ready for bed. Do you want to speak to her?
Oh, no. It's to do with what we were discussing earlier.
Oh.
Johnny called by a little while ago, checking back on one of the Anguses we've got problems with. I knew he'd been round to the Beechwood estate this afternoon, so I mentioned what you told me.
Did he see something?
Well, at the time, he didn't take much notice.
What was it?
He thought it was just children.
Doing what?
Well, he's not sure. He was doing Tom a favour, delivering flyers for Bridge Fresh. We've never had much of a response from Beechwood.
What did he see?
It's what he heard, Lee. He was on his way back to the van when a gate clanged. Your side gate.
What?
He knew Helen was in the dairy and your car wasn't around, so he went over.
Did he see anyone?
Nobody, except that the gate was open.
It shouldn't have been.
That's when he thought it was children messing about. He had a quick look down the side, but there was no one there. He says it might even have been a cat or a dog.
The gate was tight shut when I left, Tony. How's a dog going to get the latch open?
Right.
It's the same guy, isn't it? Looking around the back of the house.
It could well be.
It must be. So it wasn't the one-off.
No.
Right. That's it. Someone is watching our house, and I've a fair idea who it is.
That's why I'm ringing. Given what's happened to Helen in the past...
It's all right. I'm ahead of you. I haven't said anything to her so far, but I'm not risking it any longer. There's definitely something going on, and Helen needs to hear about it right away.
Block drain, Dave.
Amazing, Sherlock. How do you do it?
That's one of my least favourite jobs, getting the rods out.
Oh, I'm not a big fan. Did you find Mum?
Yes. I told her it's all her fault our fuchsia heads didn't win anything. We'd have walked it if she'd lent us a better vase.
Oh, don't know about that. But your hanging basket was unlucky, Kent it?
Certainly was. We deserve way more than highly commended.
Yeah, even Bert said so.
Hey, wasn't he thrilled to get the free-to-fry cup?
That was a nice touch.
He earned it.
Oh, yeah. Although Eddie was even more made up.
Well, for Poppy's biggest smile prize. Well, at least the Grundys won something.
Yeah. Are you just going to carry on watching me work?
Yes. I find it very soothing.
Well, I must say, the biggest smile is a good way for Joe to be remembered.
And Eddie and Clary were so happy afterwards, I was able to pounce.
Oh, how?
I've got them interested in our zombie-themed film quiz for Halloween.
Oh, how's that coming on?
Yeah, not too badly. We're giving it a real push. Although I have heard that Lower Loxley are planning a Halloween movie night.
Oh, more green shoots, eh? Trade's definitely coming back.
Well, the Casey wedding must have done you some good.
Not that much. And after all Vince's haggling.
Oh. You got many other bookings coming up?
No, the next thing's completely non-profit. We're hosting Harvest Supper again.
Oh, right. Well, good to have that back.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a hand...
Yeah, thanks. We're bound to.
Oh, is that you or me, Dave?
No, it's me. It's probably Josh needing help with a slurry tanker playing up.
Or a little mole half a mile away.
Stop poking us with those rods.
Oh.
Little mole?
No, it's Tracy again. Have I made my mind up yet?
I would have come back sooner, Helen. I just couldn't get cover for my 9 o'clock.
It doesn't matter.
I've rejigged the rest of the morning, so what needs doing?
There's not much left, really. I've packed the boys' bags on my own. You just need to get together whatever you're bringing to Bridge Farm.
Your parents are happy about all of us staying there?
Lee, of course they are. I've told them we'll go over as soon as you're packed, and we've spoken to the police again.
That quickly?
When I pick up the boys this afternoon, I want to take them straight to the farm, not back here.
No worries. Did drop-off go okay?
It was fine. I was still in two minds till we got there, but the more normal we can keep things for Jack and Henry...
I agree.
I explained what's happening to Mrs. Sharmin. Loxley Barrett have a very clear policy on challenging strangers anyway, but she's alerting the whole staff, and she promises the boys will be closely supervised all day till I pick them up again.
Excellent.
I'd have moved us out last night if it hadn't been so late when you told me.
Sorry about that.
No, you were right to wait till you were sure.
I didn't know if I should say something after I found the footprint.
We'd no reason to. You don't know him like I do. I understand exactly why he's watching the house. Rob wants to snatch Jack again.
Oh.
Have you had any breakfast, Chris?
Not yet.
Well, it does help.
Maybe in a little while.
Well, how about coffee and a glass of water?
Oh, in a minute or two, Alice, once the man with the sledgehammer has stopped bashing the top of my head.
It's a disgusting feeling, isn't it? The morning after.
Oh, yeah.
I used to feel like death warmed up.
That's about right.
Only one thing ever got me through. You don't want another drink, do you?
What? No, just the thought makes me gag.
Good. That's really good.
Well, I don't feel good.
Believe me, that's a much better reaction than I used to have.
Yeah, you stick to lemonade when you grow up, Martha. That's my advice.
Well, I can take her back with me if you want. Can't I, Martha?
Oh, no.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take her to your mum's this afternoon, if that's what you've arranged.
Oh, it's all right. I've made time for Martha this morning, so that's what I'm going to do. As soon as my head stops spinning.
Amy said it was quite a sesh.
You've seen her?
She rang to give me a bit of a heads up.
Oh.
That's why we didn't roll up too early.
I don't know how her and Fallon got me home last night. I just about remember them helping me into bed, Amy watching over me for a while. It's so embarrassing.
Oh, Chris, don't worry. I put her through a lot worse.
When I finally crawled out, I found my boots at the end of the bed and a bucket next to me. I felt so ashamed.
She's a good friend, isn't she?
Yeah.
To both of us.
I've been trying to remember. I did something stupid at the pub, didn't I? Did Amy tell you what it was?
She mentioned something.
It was to do with Cecil, wasn't it?
Oh, Apparently he scrounged a few junks off you while you talked about the flour and produce.
That's it. Oh no.
Don't worry, everyone will have forgotten about it by now.
What was I thinking of?
Chris, you're unsettling Martha.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. Ugh, I want locking up.
No, you don't, Chris. But you could probably use a shower.
Oh, no.
Why don't you go and have one? I'll look after Martha, won't I? And I'll make you some breakfast.
Hey, well done, Dave.
Oh, I thought it was never going to clear. This end of the collecting yard always gets claggy, no matter how well we scrape it.
So, harvest supper. Brookfield will provide the tables, crockery and cutlery.
And we'll do all the serving.
Jolene and I'll take charge of drinks and entertainment.
Yep. Seems a pretty fair split.
What about the food? Deciding who provides what?
Oh, Ruth can do that.
She got the time?
Yeah. I mean, it's only making a list of volunteers. She doesn't actually have to cook anything herself, does she?
Well, you might get something from Tracy this time. If you let her give Chelsea driving lessons on the farm.
Not sure I want Chelsea Horrobin tearing round here, thank you.
Why not? All your lot started that way.
Yeah, and I was a lot happier when they began getting proper lessons. Especially Ben, who's a real menace, rattling around with Rory.
Won't be long before he's driving rollers all the time.
What?
Heir apparent to the Casey millions?
Oh, I don't think so.
What's Beth Casey like? I've never met her.
Oh, seems nice enough. And Ben must be keen on her. We've hardly seen him. Always at her place.
Do you think the Caseys are making a takeover bid for the Archers?
Quite possibly.
Vince and Elizabeth, they're such an unlikely couple. But how about Ben and Beth?
Well, you don't know how long anything will last at Ben's age.
No, true. But whenever I hear from Muriel, not that often sadly, there's always some new guy in tow.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to advise Ben one way or the other. I tried that with Pip and Josh. Didn't do any good.
Oh, so now you are grown old and wise, eh?
I have learned you have to let the young ones make their own mistakes.
Oh, well, in that case, you should let Chelsea have driving lessons here.
She gone off again?
Oh, that won't hurt her. She was quite restless last night.
That was so good.
Well, scrambled egg was usually all I could face.
It was perfect. And at last my head stopped ringing.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You did this for me so often when I was wrecked.
When you were ill.
We weren't going to make a habit of it, are you?
No way.
I don't want you taking the same stupid route I took.
No, there's no chance of that. And not because I'm any smarter than you.
No, you definitely are.
It's just our bodies must be made different. And like I said, I can't face the thought of another drink, not for ages.
Well, that's great.
I'm never, ever going to get that trashed again, making a complete fool of myself in the pub.
Honestly, that was nothing, Chris.
Well, Cecil Jackson won't think so.
Not compared to some of the horrible stuff I did.
That wasn't the real you.
Oh, it was, I'm afraid.
This is the real you. You're doing so well, staying dry.
So far.
You'll do it this time. I know you will.
Well, at least I'm going to my meetings, talking to the people I need to talk to.
You're doing brilliantly.
I want to succeed, Chris. I really do.
I know.
I'm determined Martha's going to have a proper mother.
Do you know what, Alice? I'm going to miss you so much.
It's going to take time for us both to get used to being apart, isn't it?
Feels like everything's changing. All at once.
But we'll get through it.
Of course. What have you told your mum and dad?
Oh, they know we're not moving back together.
Permanently?
I haven't told them that part yet.
I thought your mum didn't know when I saw her.
Did you say anything?
Oh, no.
I am going to tell them. I'm just plucking up the courage.
I was showing banjo at the stables yesterday.
Oh, was he pleased to see you?
Of course. All my clients are pleased to see me. Guess I've seen more of him than you have lately.
Oh, it's going to be so hard letting him go tomorrow.
I still love you, Alice.
And I've got so much love for you, Chris. We're still going to be in each other's lives massively. Martha needs both of us. You'll get sick of the sight of me popping back all the time.
I don't think so. And it won't necessarily be here, will it?
What do you mean?
Your mum was saying on Monday how I was welcome to stay. I don't know if she was hinting she wants me and Martha to move on.
No, of course she doesn't. She thinks the world of you.
Well, she's always been very kind.
And she meant exactly what she said. This is your and Martha's home for as long as you need, which I hope is forever.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, it helps if I don't have to think about moving just yet.
Well, you don't.
I don't want to have to go back to Mum and Dad again.
Tell me about it. Oh, what's the matter, Martha?
That's all right. I'll see to her.
Well, you sure?
Yeah, it's okay. I took the morning off to be with her. Don't want to waste any more of it.
Well, I don't mind.
That's all right. I'm 100% again. Well, 92%. Aren't I, darling? Thanks to your mum's brilliant breakfast.
Oh, that was nothing.
It was a miracle cure. Oh, someone needs changing that.
Well, I'll get out of your way then and let you get on with that.
Thanks for having her last night.
Chris, you don't have to thank me for looking after my own daughter.
No, but being so understanding as well, not rushing back.
If I didn't understand what you were going through, you will.
I guess so.
Right. Bye, my darling. See you again very soon.
Come back whenever you like, as often as you like.
Thanks, Chris. We'll make this work.
We'll see.
Bye now.
And say goodbye to Banjo for me, won't you?
Yeah.
I hope it goes all right tomorrow. No, I mean it, Alice. I know how much saying goodbye hurts.
Well, that was pretty pointless.
No, it wasn't.
The police aren't actually doing anything, are they?
The guy said they're putting a marker on any emergency calls from here or Bridge Farm. They'll treat them as urgent.
Oh, I suppose that's something.
And we're going to talk to Harrison.
But what's he going to say that we haven't already heard?
I don't know.
Lee, if the police were doing their job properly, they'd have picked Rob up as soon as he came back into the country. That's what they promised the first time he tried to take Jack.
Maybe there was some sort of mix-up.
I'm not trusting them again. We can't rely on the police or anyone else. From now on, it's down to me, you, and the rest of the family to keep Jack and Henry safe from that monster.
Will soup be enough?
Yeah, plenty. I hardly wore myself out this morning, Jenny.
It'll only be another minute or so.
I dropped off a few bits and pieces from farm supplies, ran some barley up to the hinds. There wasn't a soul around, so I came straight back.
It's been quiet here as well, Brian.
When's Alice going to the stables?
Oh, I heard her getting ready a minute or so ago.
She's going to find it quite a challenge, isn't she?
Yes. She's very fond of Banjo.
Yeah, well, let's hope it doesn't.
We'll just have to see, won't we? Oh, I've had another text from Rory.
What's he say?
Well, he was very funny about one of the tutors there. Calls him a throwback to the Dark Ages.
Did he say anything about the good luck message Alice sent?
Oh, it was only a text, Brian. Just saying that he's enjoying settling in.
I hope he's having a whale of a time.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Do you want anything from the village after I've been to the stables?
No, I don't think so, darling.
Are you happy doing this on your own, Alice?
Oh, not happy exactly.
Well, we could come with you if you like.
What for?
Well, you know.
No, don't be silly, Dad. You're having lunch.
It'll keep. It makes things easier.
No, it's all right. I've got this.
Want me to have a go, Tony?
No, thanks.
I'm a dab hand with a drill.
I can manage, thanks, Joy. So if you need to be getting on with anything else...
Nothing that can't wait while I help you.
That's very kind of you.
I almost wish it was me the fella was interested in. But of course it's Helen. I should have guessed. So let's get their housemaid safe.
Exactly.
I expect Lee was relieved you're putting the camera up.
It's easier for me. I haven't got a full-time job to worry about.
And you're not so cack-handed.
Yeah, I should take a raw plug now.
Once the camera's working, it pings a video of any intruders to your phones.
That's the theory, yes.
It's a good idea. Helen's ex isn't to know they've all moved in with you and Pat.
No, and we haven't told anyone. Except you and the boys' teachers, so...
I'm not saying a word to anybody. Mind, he's a fool if he shows his face on Beechwood. I've got the whole chat group on high alert.
Thanks. Still a bit tight. Oh!
You've dropped the roll plug, Tony.
So I have.
Don't fret, pet. I'll get it. You take a nice deep breath. We'll soon have this working between us.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Dear old Banjo.
His eyes lit up when I brought him round and he saw it was you.
Oh, good boy. Is it all right if I give him a mint, Shula?
You don't have to ask.
Oh, I do. It's not mine anymore. Are you, Banjo?
I'm sure Rani won't mind.
Rani?
Yeah, Rani Pershaw, the lady who's buying him.
Oh, what's she like?
Very nice.
There you are, Banjo.
She's an extremely accomplished rider.
She will look after him.
Oh, yes. She's ridden horses all her life.
Oh, did you hear that, Banj? You're really going to like your new home.
I thought you'd arrived togged up.
Why?
Well, aren't you taking him out one last time?
Oh.
No, you don't have to. But he does need exercising, and Rani's not picking him up till much later.
I hadn't really thought about it.
I just assumed you'd want to. It's all right. I'll get one of the girls.
No, I'd love to, Shula. But I don't know.
Why not?
I'm not sure I deserve to ride him.
Sorry?
I'm letting him down so badly.
Alice, you're doing what you believe's right for both of you.
Selling him because I've been so stupid.
Because you need the money to help put things right. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing that stops you saying a proper farewell to him.
You're sure Rani won't mind?
Not in the least. Now, come on. The clothes you've got on will do. Let's find you a hat and a high-vis jacket. Who told you?
Nick Spring. I ran into him at Farm Supplies. Asked me if it was true.
And what did you say?
But I'd no idea. I wasn't in the bull when it happened.
Oh, no.
I rather wish I had been.
Oh, Brian.
Do you know what Chris actually did?
I know he'd had too much to drink.
He got himself completely sloshed. Then gave Cecil Jackson a huge hug and asked the whole pub to toast the man with the smallest wallet with the biggest marrow in Ambridge.
Oh, Lord.
Then tripped up and was sick over a cribbage board.
Oh, poor boy.
I'd love to have seen Cecil's face.
And it's only because he's upset that Alice hasn't moved back.
It was quite a reaction.
Oh, I could tell things weren't right when I called in at the forge. He insisted they were fine, though. Now, Brian, you are not to say anything to him about getting drunk.
I wasn't planning to.
It's completely out of character. It'll never happen again.
How can you be so sure?
Alice had a long heart-to-heart with him yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She'll be amazed if he has another drink this month. He doesn't react to alcohol the way she does.
Let's hope not.
And they've cleared the air about a few other things as well.
Such as?
Oh, I hadn't realised that Chris was worried we wanted him to leave the nest.
Where's he got that from?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's not from me. But Alice made it very clear that it's his and Martha's home for as long as they want.
I'm coming close to your ears, Banjo. You don't mind, do you? I hope your new won't embarrass you after a ride as well. I'm sure she will. But it won't be quite the same, will it?
How did you get on?
Oh, it was lovely being out with him again. I don't think I stopped talking the whole time.
Great listeners, aren't they?
Oh, Banjo is. The best thing is he never tells me off. Lets me get a few things straight in my head. What I need to do next.
I promise Rani will give him a good home. I wouldn't let him go to her otherwise.
I know. I meant to ask, how's your arm?
Oh, healing well, thank you.
You're looking more comfortable with it.
Oh, well, I wish I could say the same for my confidence. I haven't taken Rolly out since the accident.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Or any of the livelier horses.
Afraid of another tumble.
Oh, I keep imagining them getting spooked and throwing me. It's not ideal for a riding instructor, really.
No.
Oh, I dare say I'll get over it.
Actually, I don't mind taking Rolly out for you, or any of the lively ones. Cantering out of Hayden Wood, I felt so alive. Better than I have done in ages.
Oh.
And now I won't have Banjo. we'd be helping each other out, Sheila.
Nothing like your Helen's had to put up with, of course, but Rochelle's had her share of trouble and all.
Can you take a step back, Joy?
Is it the garlic goujons? I was going to save them for me tea, but I was peckish.
Perfect! You're on screen.
It's working.
Seems to be. Won't cover the whole approach, but at least we'll know if Rob comes anywhere near the front door.
Oh, you've done well there, Pet.
With your invaluable assistance.
I hope Helen realises how lucky she is.
Well, it's going to take more than one camera to stop her worrying about Jack, though, if Rob's up to his old tricks.
I meant having a family like yours to look after her.
We're just doing what any family would do.
There's plenty wouldn't, I'm afraid to say.
Well, we're 100% behind her.
Having a partner like Lee must help. A karate black belt. That must put her mind at rest.
I'm sure it does.
He'll do whatever it takes to keep her safe, won't he?
Yes, he will.
As long as it doesn't involve drilling walls.
That is good news, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, you're going to be riding some of the livery horses.
Yeah, once in a while.
To help Sheila?
Yes.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, darling.
Well, it's for my sake as much as hers, now that I won't have Banjo.
Did that go all right?
Yes. I'm glad I took him out for a final ride. It seemed the right way to do things.
Oh, I'll have to tell Debbie that you're keeping up your riding. See, I'm in the middle of my regular catch-up email.
There was something else.
What's that, darling?
About me and Chris.
Ah, yes. Your mother said you had a good long chat yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Got a few hurdles out of the way.
Oh, Brian.
We're going to get divorced.
What?
Oh, dear.
Whose idea is that?
It's mine. But Chris accepts the marriage is over.
What, is this just how you're feeling now?
No.
Because naturally you're very upset. I mean, this awful battle you've been going through, the sacrifices you're making.
Dad, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Do you?
And now that Chris has accepted it, it's like the most enormous weight's been lifted off me.
Was he very upset?
Yes. But we're starting to see a way forward as Martha's parents. And Chris and I will always love each other in our own way. I'm sorry if it's a shock, but in my heart I know it really is for the best.
Oh, I rather thought that was going to happen.
Well, she might still change her mind.
No. If the marriage isn't right, perhaps it'll be the best for all of them.
What's a divorce going to do to us as well?
I'm sorry.
Well, if they go ahead with it, Chris will be entitled to a whopping great chunk of her assets, especially if he has custody of Martha.
Well, obviously they'll come to some arrangement, but, he has got his own business.
Oh, not worth anything like Alice's stake in the farm. I'll tell you what, Jenny. If he gets hold of a half-decent lawyer, it's not just emotional damage we need to worry about. Home Farm might be about to take the most enormous financial hit.
The Archers was written by Adrian Flynn, and the agricultural storyline advisor is Sarah Swadling. It was directed in our Birmingham studio by Rosemary Watts, and the editor is Jeremy Howe.
South Africa's former leader Jacob Zuma claims there's a global conspiracy to poison him.
They planned to murder me.
Is he right?
Accusations of poison play a highly political purpose.
Jacob Zuma believes that he would have died without the help of the Russians.
I'm Andrew Harding with a story of modern political intrigue and Cold War paranoia.
They put the poison in my clothes. They put it in 5 of my underwears.
Poison, this Monday to Friday at 1:45 on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds. BBC News at 11 o'clock. The Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has accused the government of failing to plan properly to tackle shortages in the supply chain. Ministers have announced that temporary visas are to be offered to 5,000 foreign lorry drivers. 5,500 foreign poultry workers will also be allowed to work in the UK until the 24th of December. Sir Keir told the BBC's Andrew Marr show that more action would be needed.
We have to issue enough visas to cover the number of drivers that we need. If there's 100,000 vacancies and the government is saying we're going to bring in 5,000 visas, there is an obvious problem. We've got a situation now where we've got an absolute crisis in this country through a lack of planning on behalf of the government.
Sir Keir said he would talk to his deputy, Angela Rayner, after she described senior Tories as scum. She made the comments at a reception for activists at the party conference. Sir Keir said it was not the word he would have used. She has refused to apologise. A man has been arrested over the murder of 28-year-old schoolteacher Sabina Nessa in what police have called a significant development. The 38-year-old suspect was taken into police custody in the early hours of this morning. Ms Nessa had been walking to meet a friend at a pub near her home when she was attacked in Cater Park in Greenwich. German voters are electing a new parliament as Chancellor Angela Merkel steps down after 16 years in power. The results are expected to be tight between Armin Laschet of the Conservative CDU party and Olaf Scholz, a centrist social democrat and Germany's current finance minister. At least 3 people have been killed in a train crash in the US state of Montana. 50 others were hurt when several carriages came off the rails